Against Adams State, UCCS looking to claim the series sweep of Adams State Grizzlies here as the regular season closes for both teams today. Mount Lions another in the conference tournament. Adams State needs a win here to have any shot and needs some help across the conference from other games today. Taylor Reed back on the pitching circle, looking to get her fourth win of the series against Adams State University. As right now, a 1-2 count as she's facing against Mishuli, and already another strikeout to lead off today. And so another strikeout on the day for Taylor Reedhead as she's looking to get both wins against Adams State today. Got both wins in yesterday's game as Angel Mashuli already down, 1 up, 1 down for the Grizzlies. Now up Sarah Rocha, the center fielder, is .324 batter on the season for Adams State. And not quite who we're used to seeing. We're used to seeing Samantha McDonald in that number 2 spot. And now moving Rocha up as that pitch is called for ball number 1. 1 up, 1 down so far for Taylor Reedhead on a strikeout, as now Sarah Rocha, the center fielder, up to the plate. 1-0 pitch, and now a 2-0 count for Rocha for the Grizzlies. As I mentioned, final regular season game for both of these teams. Mount Lions, though, they have action next week in Grand Junction. 2-0 pitch is on the way, and now ahead of the count is Rocha at 3-0. Rocha and then Haskins. First 3 up due for the Grizzlies. Called strike, 3-1 count now for Rocha at the plate, with 1 out on the top of the first inning here at Mount Lion Field. 3-1 pitch and a walk for Rocha. She takes her base. And now Shelby Haskins up to the plate for the Grizzlies. 311 hitter coming into today's game, updated through first game stats. First pitch on the way, swing and a miss for strike number 1 to Haskins. Rocha on first for the Grizzlies, 1 for 1 on stolen base attempts this season. 0-1 pitch, strike number 2, looking for Haskins. 0-2 pitch on the way, runner is going, but that's fouled off. So an 0-2 count for Haskins at the plate, as now Rocha will head back to first base. Taylor Reed had 12-10 on the season with 3 wins this weekend against the Grizzlies. And ball number 1, 1-2 count now for Haskins as wind picks up a little bit here, but still tame by Colorado Springs standards, and especially this location between Pulpit Rock and the Rampart Range. 1-2 pitch is in the turf. County was up at 2-2 for Haskins. Mount Lions looking to complete the series sweep here against Adams State University. Already with an 8-game home win streak. 2-2 pitch. Now count goes full at 3-2. 3-2 count for Haskins, 1 now, top of the first inning here in the regular season finale. That ball's put into play. It'll be Glover for the 6-4 play in the force out, and they're able to get the play. So a double play for the Mount Lions on that 4-6-3 double play. And so Mount Lions will take some momentum on defense, see if they can translate that into momentum on offense. Go to the bottom of the first will be Martinek, Cook, and Riesman. When we come back, you're watching UCCS softball. Bottom of the first inning, UCCS turning a double play to get out of the top of the first, as now we are seeing Brittany Phillips warming up for Adams State University. Phillips 5-12 record on the season, 6.89 ERA, and 36 strikeouts on the season. For the Mountain Lions, first three that we've seen all weekend, Melissa Martinick leading things off for the Mountain Lions. Martinick a .369 batting average coming into today's game. It includes her performances in the first game as Mountain Lions win that one 12-3 in 5 innings. Mountain Lions have won all 3 games 9-1 and 5, 15-14 and 9 yesterday, and then today's 12-3 victory in 5 today. Melissa Martinick takes that one for ball number 1 from Brittany Phillips. One 0 pitch down the way from Phillips, and ball number 2 as Martinick goes ahead in the count. Martinick 3 runs in game number 1 today, 3 for 3 at the plate, with 3 RBIs and called strike number 1. 2-1 count now for Martinick, the shortstop. One pitch on the way, a little bit high, and Martinick now having to count 3-1. Phillips now 3-1 pitches on the way, and Martinick leads off the bottom of the first with a walk. So leadoff walk brings up Alex Cook into the batter's box, the .350 batter for UCCS, 5 home runs, 2 triples, and 12 doubles among her 57 hits this season. Coming up to the plate, working with Martinick at first already. Here to start off the bottom of the first. Pitch now on the way from Phillips as Grizzlies will try to go back for the pickoff attempt. No good. Ball to Alex Cook. 1-0 count for her at the plate. One 0 pitch now on the way. That ball's hit high. It looks like it's going to be in foul territory. We'll see if it stays within the fence or not. It does, but no play for the Grizzlies. And now 1-1 count for Cook at the plate. One count, no outs, with Martinick at first for UCCS. 1-1 pitch down the way, and Cook moves ahead in the count 2-1. Count. Martinick at first, no outs in the bottom of the first. There's the pitch and swing and a miss. Count evens up for Cook 2-2. Pitch is on the way a little bit high. Martinick is going. She's going to slide in and safe in the process. And so good stolen base for Martinick. She gets into scoring position as the count goes full for Alex Cook, 3-2. Martinick, her 4th stolen base of the season for the Mountain Lions. 3-2 pitch now on the way from Phillips. That ball's put into play. It's going to go past the shortstop. And so Mountain Lions are going to keep Martinick at first. And so runners on the corners for UCCS as Cook with that single up the left side moves Martinick into third. No outs in the bottom of the first. And Peyton Reisman now up to the plate, the first baseman for UCCS, hitting .392 on the season. 4 home runs, 16 doubles among her 49 hits, a .616 slugging percentage. Mountain Lions trying to take the early lead here in the bottom of the first with a runner in third. Here comes the pitch from Phillips. And ball number 1 to Reisman. 1-0 count, no outs. Here comes the pitch from Phillips. And now a 2-0 count for Reisman at the plate. No outs in the bottom of the first. Runners on the corners. .2-0 pitch now on the way. And now a 3-0 count for Peyton. Cook on first. Melissa Martinick on third. No outs here in the bottom of the first of game number 2. Pitch is on the way. Called strike. 3-1 count now for Peyton Reisman. Three-one pitch. Swung out and missed, and count is now full for Peyton. No outs in the bottom of the first inning. Mount Lions, the runners on the corners, trying to take an early lead and capitalize on this early momentum. High foul ball is going to go into the grandstand on the third base side. Count remains full at 3-2. Three-two pitch, and now a walk, and Blaze loads the bases for the Mount Lions. Move Cook over into second in the process, as Taylor Reedhead, the pitcher, steps into the batter's box. No outs, bottom of the first. Worked with Martinick on third, Cook on second, and Reisman on first. Mount Lions trying to see what they can do with this early advantage. First pitch is high for ball number 1 to Reedhead. One-0 pitch on the way. Call it strike. 1-1 count now for Taylor Reedhead. Loaded bases. Bottom of the first with no outs. One pitch from Phillips. Called strike number 2. Reedhead now behind in the count 1-2. Trying to drive in at least one run here for the Mount Lions. 1-2 pitch from Phillips. That ball's put on the plate. It's fielded by the shortstop. Goes back to home for the force out. But bases remain loaded, just one out, as Reedhead will advance on the fielder's choice. Martinick out on the 6-2 play at home plate. But Cook advances to third and Reisman to second for the Mount Lions, as Rel Glover comes up to the plate. One now, bases loaded, bottom of the first. Rel Glover makes contact but fouls off on the right side for strike number 1. Lexi Anderson on deck for the Mount Lions. Pair of home runs in game number 1 earlier today. Oh, 1 count, bases loaded, 1 out. Here comes the pitch from Phillips, a little bit higher for ball number 1. 1-1 count now for Glover at the plate. Ones across the top of the scoreboard. 1-1 count, 1 out, top, bottom of the first. Here comes the pitch, is fouled off at the backstop for strike number 2. 1-2 count now for Rel Glover. Mount Lions seeing what they can do here early on. Secured a series sweep. And now 2-2 count for Glover. Two count, 1 out, bases loaded. Pitch now on the way from Phillips. That ball's made contact. That's going to probably stay on the fair. Looks like it's going to be fair, and they're going to call it as such. It'll be at least 1 run for the Mount Lions and a single. So an RBI single for Lexi Anderson with that ball just on the right field line. I'm sorry, for Glover. My apologies. Glover with that RBI single, as that brings Cook across the home plate. 1-0 lead for the Mount Lions. We'll bring Reisman up to third and Taylor Reedhead over to second. So bases remain loaded. 1 out, bottom of the first. Mount Lions the 1-0 lead against the Grizzlies as Lexi Anderson comes up to the plate. 2 home runs in the first game. Here comes her first pitch. Checks her swing for ball number 1. Quick turnaround here. Still trying to fill out the scorecard here. Mount Lions with the early 1-0 lead. Bases loaded. With Lexi Anderson ahead in the count 2-0. I'm trying to avoid giving anything to her. She doubled her home run total just in the first game alone. She went from 2 to 4 on the season. 2-0 count, 1-0 lead for Mount Lions, 1 out. And now a 3-0 count for Lexi Anderson at the plate. Bases loaded though. A walk would make it a 2-0 lead for the Mount Lions. 3-0 pitch now from Phillips. And that'll be a walk. So Mount Lions will add another run to their total as Peyton Reisman comes across the plate. 2-0 lead for the Mount Lions. Move Taylor Reedhead to third and Glover up to second in the process. So late both bases loaded, 1 out, bottom of the first. Mount Lions with the 2-0 lead already. As Sawyer Brewster will be up to the plate. Adams State will take a little moment to recollect a little bit, reevaluate the situation. As Mount Lions looking to finish the regular season ideally on a 9-game home winning streak. Right now, Mount Lions coming into this game right now 26-24, 22-16 in the conference. They're solidly in 6th going into the conference tournament. Adams State 12-36, 12-24 in the conference. They need a win to keep any kind of postseason hope alive. As everyone retreats back to their places. And we get reset here with Sarah Brewster at the plate for the Mount Lions. Bases loaded, 1 out. Wind is picking up a little bit, going straight out to about left center field as Brewster fouls that off for strike number 1. Oh, 1 count, 1 out, bases loaded, bottom of the first, 2-0 lead for the Mount Lions. Here comes the pitch from Phillips for strike number 2 called. Bases loaded, 0-2 pitch now on the way from Phillips, a little bit higher from ball number 1 to Brewster. Lee Lancaster on deck for the Mount Lions. Should this inning continue, Adams State has had plenty of double play opportunities, converting on some of them. 1-2 pitch now on the way. That ball's hit high. That's going to go into center field. It looks like it's going to be good for a grand slam, and it is. So Sawyer Brewster, a grand slam for the Mount Lions, makes it now a 6-0 lead in the bottom of the first inning as we see Sawyer Brewster coming home for the Mount Lions. Brewster, home run number 7 on the year, and it's now a 6-0 lead for the Mount Lions. Also scoring on there, Reedhead from third, Glover from second, and Lexi Anderson from first. And the Mount Lions have opened this up in a big way, 6-0 in the bottom of the first. Lancaster now at the plate for the Mount Lions. Lancaster playing her final regular season home game here today, 228 batter for the Mount Lions. 1 out, here comes the first pitch, fouled off into the Mount Lion batting circle, 0-1 count for Lancaster. 0-1 pitch now from Phillips. That ball is foul just on the first base side. 0-2 count now for Lancaster at the plate. Count, 1 out, bottom of the first. Mount Lions with an early 6-0 lead, helped by a grand slam from Sawyer Brewster. That ball's put in the plate. That's going to go right up the middle. That's going to be at least a base hit for Lee Lancaster, and it will just be that, a base hit. As Rocha coming in from center to make sure that that's nothing more than that for the Mount Lions. Nobles now up to the plate. The number 9 batter, Martinick, on deck. Maybe for the looking to come up for the second time this inning. Nobles, 184 batter for the Mountain Lions. 1 out with a runner on first for Nobles. First pitch he sees, called strike. 0-1 count now for Nobles. David Williams, the home plate umpire behind the plate. Keith Ferguson out at first. Mike Doohan at third for this Armac officiating crew. Pitch now on the way from Phillips. That ball's put on the plate. It'll be fielded by Wood for the 6-4 part. They see it to complete the double play, and they can't. And so second out as Lee Lancaster out in the first half of an attempted double play. 6-4 play. Fielder's choice from the Nobles. Now brings Missy Martinek back up. Walked to lead off this inning. And now Mountain Lions have gone through the order. 2 outs in still the bottom of the first with Nobles at first. Pitch down the way from Phillips. Goes for ball number 1. Martinek walked in the first inning. Didn't score. She was out on the force out from shortstop to catcher on a fielder's choice from Taylor Reedhead. 1-0 pitch. Now make it a 1-1 count. As Lacey Martinek will let that one go by for strike number 1. See if we can keep it on. Some scores from across the conference. 1-1 pitch is a little bit high. 2-1 count as Missy Martinek moves ahead. Baseball action. Top of the 5th already at Mountain Lion Park. Just a few hundred yards to our north. UCCS after the 2-0 lead against Colorado School of Mines. And now counting was up for Missy Martinek. 2-2 at the plate. 2 outs. Bottom of the first inning. Nobles at first for the Mountain Lions. Nobles right there for UCCS. Now back out to the pitcher circle. 2-2 count. Pitch on the way from Phillips. That's fouled off on the right side. Won't be caught. Count remains at 2-2. Other games from across the conference. One final score already to report. Colorado Christian, the 10-0 victory in 5 innings against the Mexico Highlands. And CSU Pueblo to 3-0 victories in Game 1 against Colorado School of Mines. 2-2 pitch now on the way, a little bit high. Count goes full for Missy. 3-2, 2 outs, bottom of the first. 6-0 lead for the Mountain Lions with the Nobles at first base. Another final score to report. Black Hills State 8-7 win against Chadron State. That ball is going to be hit on the right side. That'll be foul, though. Count remains full for Martinek at 3-2. Cook on deck for Mountain Lions. Should this inning continue? Three-two pitch, 2 outs. Here comes the pitch. That ball's hit in the left field. It'll drop down for Lisa base hitting between left and center fielder, and they are going to put runners on third and second as Nobles reaches all the way to third on the double from Missy Martinek. Martinek on the base pass for the second time this inning, and Alex Cook had a single earlier today in this inning. 2 outs in the bottom of the first. Now batter at number 11 for UCCS here to open up the second game. Phillips now with the pitch. Cook makes contact, but that's going to be fouled off into the first base area. 0-1 count for Cook. Peyton Reisman on deck. She scored already this inning, as did Cook. Part of the 6-0 lead so far for the Mountain Lions. Nobles on third, Martinek on second, with Cook at the plate. 0-1 count right now for Cook. And that little pitch is higher for ball number 1. 1-1 count for Alex Cook. Junior for the Mountain Lions. 2 for 4 game number 1 with an RBI and a run. 1-1 pitch. A little bit high. Count is now 2-1 for Cook at the plate. Two outs, bottom of the first inning. Runners on second and third. 2-1 pitch down the way, fouled off, and now it's a full even count, 2-2 for Cook. Bottom of the first inning for UCCS. Twos across the scoreboard. 2-2 count, 2 outs. Here comes the pitch from Phillips, and now count goes full at 3-2. First is open with Nobles at third and Martinick at second. And now bases are loaded once again for the Mount Lions with Alex Cook earning the walk. She's scored earlier in this inning. Peyton Reisman up to the plate. She walked earlier today. Already with one of the 6 runs for Mount Lions, as Grizzlies will huddle in the pitching circle, reset the situation. 2 outs bottom of the first. 6-0 lead for the Mount Lions with Nobles at third and Martinick at second and Cook at first. Here in the final game of the season for both teams. UCCS will be in the postseason next week at Colorado Mesa. And a final score to report as well. Dixie State, the 4-0 victory at Fort Lewis. Pitch now to Reisman. Called strike. Strike number 1. 0-1 count now to Reisman. Another score in progress. They started a little bit later than everyone else, but Metro State with the 8-2 lead in the bottom of the 5th against Regis. 0-1 pitch is high for ball number 1. 1-1 count for Reisman. Reedhead on deck for the Mount Lions. Should the inning continue, 2 outs for UCCS. Bases loaded. One pitch on the way. Fouled off into the fence behind the plate. 1-2 count for Reisman. A walk earlier this inning. Later scored. One, 2 count, 2 outs, bottom of the first. Here comes the pitch now from Phillips. And count evens up at 2-2 for Reisman. Another action, trying to keep everyone updated. Lacrosse action, 9 minutes to play. UCCS down by 2, 12-10 at Rockhurst. And now count is full for Peyton Reisman. 3-2 count to plate, bases loaded. With Nobles at third, Martinick at second, Cook at first. 2 outs, bottom of the first. Mount Lions with a 6-0 lead already. And now make that a 7-0 lead, as now Nobles will come home on the walk by Reisman. Move Martinick up to third and Cook over to second. As Taylor Reedhead up to the plate now for UCCS, batter number 13 in this inning. For the Mount Lions, 2 outs in the bottom of the first. Mount Lions are already leading by 7 against Adams State. Back-to-back walks from the Grizzlies. Here comes the pitch now to Reedhead. Ball number 1. Trying to get some updates out of track and field. I know some scores have gone final. That ball well hit into left field. It'll bounce off the wall. It'll be Mobley there to field it, as it'll be Mount Lions will have Reisman slide into third. And so a double from Reedhead brings in Martinick and Cook. Runners at second and third for UCCS now, with Reisman at third, Reedhead at second. And now it is a 9-0 UCCS lead, bottom of the first, as Rail Glover up to the plate. Glover puts down the play. That'll go up the middle. At least one more run for Mount Lions. Looks like they're going to hold Reedhead at third. So runners on the corners, as Glover, with her second hit of the inning, drives in Peyton Reisman from third. Reisman with her second run of the game. Reedhead over to third. Glover on first. 2 outs with Lexi Anderson coming up to the plate. Mount Lions now leading 10-0 here in the bottom of the first inning. 2 outs in the bottom of the first. That ball hit on the right side, foul territory. Strike number 1 to Lexi Anderson. Lexi Anderson, 2 home runs in game number 1 today. 15th batter for the Mount Lions in this inning. Ball number 1 to Lexi Anderson. 1-1 count at the plate, 2 outs, bottom of the first. 10-0 lead for the Mount Lions. Already past 60 pitches for Brittany Phillips in the pitching circle. That pitch is in the turf for ball number 2. 2-1 count now to Anderson. Brewster had the grand slam in this inning. She's on deck. 2-1 pitch now on the way. Drop by the catcher, but it's still a strike. 2-2 count for Anderson. Glover at first. Reedhead at third. Second is open. 2 outs in the bottom of the first. 10 runs already for the Mount Lions. Here in the final game of the series. 2-2 pitch is on the way. That ball's put in the play. It's going to be filled up by Wood at shortstop, trying to get over to first, and she does in time for the 6-3 play by the Mount Lions. 10-run inning held by a grand slam from Sawyer Brewster, as the Mount Lions will take a strong lead into the second inning. It'll be the middle of the order in Phillips, Brittany Phillips, Bailey Fryer, and Rebecca Wood due up when we come back. You're watching UCCS softball. Back to the top of the second inning, Mount Lions with a 10-0 lead after the first inning here in the final game of the series against Adams State. UCCS 10 runs off of 7 hits, leave 2 runners on base, no errors by Adams State in that first inning, as it's the middle of the order due up for the Grizzlies here in the top of the second. Phillips, Fryer, and Wood. Brittany Phillips first up for the Grizzlies, .357 batter, best hitter in the lineup today for the Grizzlies here in game number 2. Reedhead pitched a complete game in game number 1 back in the circle, as that ball goes just outside of foul territory for strike number 1. Brewster there across the body was in good position to get it to first if it was going to stay fair. 0-1 count for Phillips at the plate. Here comes the pitch from Reedhead, bounces in the turf in front of the plate. 1-1 count for Phillips here to lead off the top of the second. One count, top of the second, leadoff batter. Here comes a pitch from Reedhead. That ball's foul once again, just on the third base side. 1-2 count now for Phillips. Another scoring update. Neutral site game in Lakewood. Colorado Mesa with the 2-0 lead against Highlands. Bottom of the first inning in Lakewood. Here comes down the 1-2 pitch, and count evens out for Phillips at 2-2. Reedhead already with 1 strikeout in today's game. 135 strikeouts on the season for her. 12-10 record. 3 of those wins have come this weekend. 2-2 pitch fouls off on the left side. Count remains even at 2-2 for Phillips. Two count, leadoff batter here in the top of the second for the Grizzlies. And swing and a miss. Strikeout number 2 for Reedhead to lead off now the top of the second inning. Bailey Fryer up to the plate now for the Grizzlies. The 301 hitter, making her 31st start of the season for Adams State. Pitch now on the way. That ball's made contact. Looks like it's going to be, but it'll be playable. So 1 pitch and a Foul ball caught by Anderson behind the plate. 2 up, 2 down for Adams State here in the top of the second. Rebecca Wood, the shortstop, now up to the plate for the Grizzlies with 2 outs. Rebecca Wood, 304 hitter for the Grizzlies. Reed had 136 strikeouts, 1 off of her mark from last season for the Mount Lions. Pitch is on the way. Swing and a miss for Wood. 0-1 count. Sarah Hansen, first time we've seen her this weekend, the catcher on deck for the Grizzlies should this inning continue. Reedhead with the 0-1 pitch. That ball's heading left field, and there will be Alex Cote to make it. So 3 up, 3 down for the Grizzlies. Mount Lions will take a 10-0 lead into the bottom of the second inning, with the bottom of the order due up with Brewster, Lancaster, and Nobles. When we come back, you're watching UCCS softball. Bottom of the second inning here at Mount Lion Field. UCCS with a 10-0 lead against Adams State in the regular season finale for both teams. As Sawyer Brewster comes up to the plate, had the grand slam in the first inning for the Mount Lions that helped to expand this lead and put the Mount Lions in position. Here comes the first pitch as Brittany Phillips back into the pitching circle. Pitch number 70 for her. It's called as a strike to Brewster. 0-1 count now at the plate. Brewster, Lancaster, Nobles, the 7-8-9 batters due up with their second appearances here in the top inning or bottom of the second. That ball chopped off, but will go foul on the third base side. 0-2 count now for Brewster at the plate. Brewster, that grand slam, her 7th home run of the season. And 19, 20, 21, and now 22 RBIs for her this year. 0-2 count now pitch now coming from Phillips, a little bit high for ball number 1. 1-2 count now for Brewster at the plate. Mount Lions will be sending off 6 seniors at the end of the day today. 1-2 count, a little bit low. 2-2 pitch is ball number 2. 2-2 count now for Brewster at the plate. But 6 seniors for this Mount Lions squad. Already secured another postseason appearance next weekend. But playing at home for the last time in their career. 2-2 pitch down the way. And count goes full for Brewster. 3-2 count as leadoff batter here in the bottom of the second inning. Mount Lions leading 10-0. Three-two pitch down the way from Phillips. That ball's made contact but hit into the fence behind the plate. 3-2 count as you see us zoom in there. Center for the Arts in the background. UCCS Mount Lion Field just tucked in behind the end center for the Arts. 5-year transformation for this area on the west side of campus. 3-2 pitch down the way from Phillips. The contact is made once again, but fouled off on the right side. Count still 3-2 for this leadoff batter here in the bottom of the second. Phillips, starting pitcher, already passed the 70 pitch mark here in game number 2. 3-2 pitch now from Phillips. Contact's made, fouled off once again into the stands. Count remains at 3-2. Brewster battling here as the leadoff batter in the bottom of the second. Three-two pitch. Ball's made contact. That's going to center field, but it will be Rocha there. A couple steps to make the play. One up, one down here to lead off the bottom of the second. Lee Lancaster, a single into first. And then out on the force out. On the 6-4 play as Grizzlies tried to convert the double play but couldn't quite get it over to first in time. Lee Lancaster, senior on this squad, making her 39th start of the season. And game number 51 of the year for the Mountain Lions. First pitch Lancaster sees, ball number 1, 1-0 count for her. Nobles on deck for UCCS, then back to the top of the order with Martinek should we continue. One out, bottom of the second, Mountain Lions lead 10-0. Pitch down the way from Phillips, swing and a miss for strike number 1. 1-1 count for Lancaster. One's a toss across the top of the board, 1-1 count, 1 out. Bottom of the second inning for the Mountain Lions. Here in a windy but otherwise beautiful day in Colorado Springs. 1-1 pitch, a little bit high for ball number 2. 2-1 count now for Lancaster. Not a cloud in the sky when we started. Clouds trying to move in, nothing threatening. Just a few clouds sprinkled in across the region. Wind going out into left field. Pitch is on the way, and count is now 3-1 in favor of Lancaster. Mountain Lions 10 runs off of 7 hits in the first inning. No errors from either team yet. 3-1 pitch now on the way from Phillips, and Lancaster will be walked and put her on first base with one down at the top and the bottom of the second. Lobels now up to the plate. Scored in the first inning, reached on a fielder's choice. Martinek, the leadoff batter, on deck. As it looks like pitching change now for Adams State. And that will bring in, looks like, number 5, Jade Garbizo. We saw her yesterday. We're going to take a little bit of a quick break, let Garbizo get some warm-ups in here. In the bottom of the second inning, Mountain Lions with a 10-0 lead. 1 out, though, in the bottom of the second with a runner on first. You're watching UCCS softball. Jade Garbizo in the pitching circle for Adams State, replacing Brittany Phillips. Garbizo we saw yesterday, and first pitch that she throws today goes for a ball to Amanda Nobles. 1-0 count now at the plate. 1 out in the bottom of the second inning. 1-0 pitch down the way from Garbizo, a little bit low for ball number 2. 2-0 count now as Nobles ahead in the count. Garbizo, 5-16 record on the season, 6.98 ERA with 53 strikeouts. 2-0 pitch now from Garbizo. That swung at, made contacts made. It's going to drop into the outfield for a base hit. And Mountain Lions are going to have runners on first and second with 1 out as Lancaster advances to second, reach scoring position, single by Nobles. Second time she's reached base. In this game, Martinek up to the plate for the third time this game. Had a walk and a double in the first inning. Later scored on the double in her second appearance. Wind is picking up a little bit. You can probably hear on the microphones. First pitch to Martinek as a strike. 0-1 count for her at the plate. Mountain Lions 10-0 lead with runner in scoring position. 0-1 pitch is on the way from Garbizo. Goes for ball number 1. 1-1 count for Martinek. Cook, 2 runs in the first inning on deck for UCCS. But Lancaster on second. Nobles on first here with only 1 out in the bottom of the second. Pitch now on the way from Garbizo. And ball number 2 to Martinek. She's ahead in the count 2-1 against Jade Garbizo. Now a 3-1 count for Martinick at the plate on that last pitch from Garbizo. Contact's made, fouled off on the right side. Count is now full for Martinick, 3-2. 1 out in the bottom of the second. Runners on first and second with Lancaster and Nobles. Phillips, the starting pitcher, still responsible for Lancaster on second. So we'll have to wait for her complete pitching line here. Pitch is on the way. That gets right past off Lange's glove. And so Mount Lions will put runners on first and second, as Wood able to cover for Lang and get the force out on Lancaster at third for the 6-5 force out. Nobles in the meantime moves over to second, and Martinick reaches first on that single. Or on that fielder's choice, I apologize. Cook got out to the plate, 2 runs in the first inning, single and a walk on how she reached base. Strike number 1 to Cook. Contact made, fouled off, 0-2 count now for Cook. 10-0 lead for Mount Lions here in the bottom of the second. 2 outs, runners on first and second with Nobles and Martinick. Bottom of the second, third plate appearance of the game for Alex Cook. Peyton Reisman on deck should inning continue. 2 runs for her in the first inning. (0-2) pitch now from Garbizo. Contact's made but fouled off into the third base grandstands. Count remains at 0-2. 2 outs, Nobles on second, Martinick on first, Cook at the plate. Bottom of the second, Mount Lions 10 runs in the first, but haven't been able to put anything across here in the second. Pitch now from Garbizo. Contact's made. That's going to be playable for the Grizzlies. There's a strong wind, though. Gets away from the center second baseman, so 1 run will score in Nobles. Runners on the corners now for UCCS. As now it's an 11-0 lead for UCCS. Martinick advances all the way to third as Cook reaches first base. They're going to give it a single with the weather conditions, moving that ball around. Gusting here in Colorado Springs as Peyton Reisman now up to the plate. 2 runs in the first inning. Reached base on the walks on both of those times. Here comes the pitch now from Garbizo. Strike number 1 called by a home plate umpire. 0-1 count now for Reisman. Reedhead on deck. Should the inning continue for UCCS. Nobles with 1 run for the Mount Lions here so far in the inning. 0-1 pitch now from Garbizo. Contact's made. That's going to go in left field. That's going to drop in for at least a base hit. There is no Mobley there who's going to try to field it. And a stand-up double for Peyton Reisman. That scores Melissa Martinick from third and brings Alex Cook all the way from first to third. 2 runs for Mount Lions so far in this inning. 12-0 lead here against the Grizzlies. Runners on second and third. 2 outs in the bottom of the second. Taylor Reedhead up to the plate. Had a double and a fielder's choice to reach base both times in the first inning. Pitch now from Garbizo. Called strike for Reedhead. 0-1 count for her at the plate. Rail Glover on deck. Had a pair of singles in the first. Should the inning continue here in the second. Oh, 1 pitch. Now on the way. Contact's made. That's going to left field again, but I think that has the distance to go over the wall, and it does. 3-run home run for Taylor Reedhead. 3 more runs now for the Mount Lions. Makes it a 15-0 lead for UCCS as Cook scores. Reisman scores, and now you see Taylor Reedhead coming across the plate. 3-run shot for Reedhead, taking advantage of that wind out to left field. Reedhead home run number 8 for her on the season. Brings up Rail Glover, has a team leading 12 home runs. Glover already 2 for 2 on the day with a pair of singles in the first inning. Mount Lions 15 runs off of 12 hits through 1 2/3 inning here in game number 4. Pitch now on the way from Garbizo. Contact's made. It's going to left field. Drop for at least a base hit. Looks like she's going to try to extend it for a double, and that's going to be a stand-up double for Rail Glover. 3 for 3 for her at the plate so far today. Mountain Lions able to do most of this damage with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. As now Lexi Anderson comes up to the plate. Lexi Anderson, the 9th Mountain Lion that the Grizzlies will face here in the bottom of the second. 2 outs with Glover on second for the Mountain Lions. And Lexi Anderson had a walk in the first inning, then ground out to shortstop to end the first inning. First pitch, she sees strike number 1. Sawyer Brewster, who led off this inning, on deck should we continue. Mountain Lions in position to close out the regular season strong with a 15-0 lead. 0-1 pitch now from Garbizo. Strike number 2 called as Hansen chucks the ball over to Fryer, covering second. Glover back safely without any issues. 0-2 count to plate 2 at the bottom of the second. Here comes 0-2 pitch. Swung at, that's going to be put into play again to the shortstop Wood. Wood will get it over for the 6-3 play at first to end the inning, but Mountain Lions with 5 more runs in the bottom of the second, helped with a 3-run home run by Taylor Reedhead as they take a 15-0 lead into the top of the third inning. Grizzlies, the 7, 8, 9 batters due up when we come back. You're watching UCCS softball. Top of the third inning here in the regular season finale for UCCS and Adams State University. UCCS with the 15-0 lead through 2 innings. Taylor Reedhead back onto the pitching circle for UCCS. Already 2 strikeouts for her. And the 7, 8, 9 batters coming up for Adams State. Sarah Hansen, the catcher, getting her first pitch now from Reedhead. Takes out for ball number 1. But we've got Hansen, Mobley, and McDonald. A couple players we don't usually see in the Grizzly lineup this weekend. McDonald was the left fielder, now to playing designated player, and moved from the number 2 spot to the 9th spot from game number 1 to 2. Swing and a miss for Hansen at the plate. 1-1 count for her. Hansen, a .247 batter, making her 26th start of the season. 1 home run, 3 doubles among her 18 hits for the Grizzlies. 1-1 count for the leadoff batter in the top of the third. Here comes a pitch from Reedhead, and ball number 2 as Hansen moves ahead in the count 2-1. Final score to report wraps up the first round of games here in conference softball action. MSU Denver with the 8-2 victory against Regis. Game number 2 in that game coming up shortly. As Hansen moves ahead in the count 3-1. Leadoff batter in the top of the third. So far, only a walk. That's the only base runner the Adams Grizzlies have been able to put on. That was in the first inning. 3-1 pitch down the way from Reedhead. And called strike. Count is now full for Hansen at the plate, 3-2. 3-2 count leading off the third inning for the Grizzlies with Sarah Hansen, the catcher. Trying to get some other scoring updates from Mountain Lion action. About 8 minutes left to go in the game in Kansas City. Lacrosse down 12-10 at Rockhurst. Their final regular season game. And then baseball action, bottom of the 7th. That should be the final score, it looks like, since only a pair of 7-inning games at Mountain Lion Park for baseball. Looks like UCCS to 3-1 victory against Colorado School Mines in game number 1. Three-two count for Sarah Hansen at the plate. Leading off here in the top of the third for the Grizzlies. Outlines with the 15-0 advantage so far. Reedhead now at the pitch. Contact is made but fouled off on the right side. Count remains full at 3-2. Other scores from across the conference. Softball action. Bottom of the second. Colorado Mesa leading New Mexico Highlands 9-0. Neutral game in Lakewood. Bottom of the first inning, tied game between Black Hill State and Shatter. In that game, in game number 2, that ball is hit over to Martinick. She will get it over to Reisman for the 6-3 play and retire the Grizzlies. Here is the first batter to lead off the top of the third. Rachel Mobley playing left field for the Grizzlies. Mobley, a .318 batter, making her 7th start of the season. 1 double among her 7 hits this season for the Grizzlies. Hansen and Mobley, both seniors on this Grizzly squad. 1 out, top of the third. Here comes the pitch from Reedhead. Swung and a miss for strike number 1. Samantha McDonald on deck for the Grizzlies in the designated player spot. 0-1 pitch down the way. Bunt is fouled off on the right side. Now 0-2 count for Rachel Mobley at the plate. She bunted and sprinted down first base, but will have to come back after the ball went in the foul territory. 0-2 count for her when she gets set. 1 out on the top of the third. Other scores from across the softball landscape today. Game number 2, CSU Pueblo. 1-0 lead in the top of the first in Golden, as Mobley fouls that off behind the backstop. Count remains at 0-2. One out, top of the third inning. UCCS leading 15-0. Mobley at the plate for here comes the 0-2 pitch. She'll take that for ball number 1. 1-2 count for Mobley at the plate. One-two pitch down the way from Reedhead. That swung at him. That's going to go in left field for a base hit. First hit of the game for the Grizzlies as Mobley sends out to left field for the single. Samantha McDonald. Mountain Lions were able to keep her off the base pass in game number 1. She had 5 runs in yesterday's 9-inning contest for the Grizzlies. Mountain Lions won that game though 15-14 in 9 innings. 1 out here in the top of the third. McDonald, the slap hitter for the Grizzlies, with Mobley over at first. Here comes a pitch for strike number 1. 0-1 count for McDonald at the plate. Mobley, no stolen base attempts so far in the season, only making her 17th appearance of the year for Adams State. But McDonald right there, designated player. Typical plays left field for the Adams State Grizzlies. Stepping into the box, and there is Taylor Reedhead trying to get a pair of complete games for the Mountain Lions here on the last day of the regular season. 0-1 pitch down the way, a little bit higher for ball number 1. 1-1 count for McDonald at the plate. Top of the order, and Angel Mashuli on deck for the Grizzlies. Mountain Lions have already turned 1 double play to end the first inning, the 4-6-3 play. Pitches on the way, a little bit high. 2-1 count as Mobley successfully steals second base. So she reaches scoring position. 2-1 count to plate for Samantha McDonald. And they're going to say it's a 1-2 count. So 1-2 count for McDonald with Mobley at second. 1 out in the top of the third inning. Here comes the pitch for... That is, okay, so it was a 2-1 count. Count is up at 2-2 now. 1 out on the top of the third. Mobley on second for the Grizzlies. Here comes a 2-2 pitch, swung at and chopped off behind the Adams State dugout. Count remains at 2-2. Mobley, her first stolen base of the season for the Grizzlies. For the seniors, Adams State needs to win this game to have any shot, and they've got to dig themselves out of this hole in order to make the conference postseason. 2-2 pitch now on the way. Ball number 3. Full count is now full for Samantha McDonald, the slap hitter for the Grizzlies. Mobley on second, 1 out, top of the 3rd inning. McDonald, 5 runs in yesterday's second game, 0 for 3 in game number 1. Chops that off and fouled off into the fence behind the backstop. Count remains full at 3-2 with 1 out. Mobley on second, reached base with the first hit of the day for the Grizzlies. Three-two count, 1 out. Here comes now the pitch from Reedhead. Fouled off once again into the stands on the third base side. Count is still full at 3-2. Three-two count, top of the 3rd. Here comes the pitch from Reedhead. And strikeout looking. As now Reedhead, 3 strikeouts on the day for her. 1 in each inning as Angel Mishuli, she struck out in the first inning, comes back up to the plate for Adams State. Reedhead now with 130 strikeouts, matches her total from last year. Here comes the pitch. Ball's put in the play in the right field. It's going to be over the fence, and so a 2-run home run for Angel Mishuli puts Adams State on the board as Mishuli comes around third base right there. Now it's a 15-2 lead for the Mount Lions. Rachel Mobley also coming home for the Grizzlies. Mishuli, her 4th home run of the season. Now puts her RBI total up to 19 as Sarah Rocha up to the plate. She walked in the first inning. 2 outs here, top of the 3rd inning between UCCS and Adams State. .103 strikeouts for Taylor Reedhead. Puts her in a tie for 7th with herself and UCCS season records. 1 more strikeout puts her alone in 7th. Pitch is on the way. It's a little bit out for ball number 1 to Rocha. Shelby Haskins on deck should the inning continue for Adams State here in the top of the 3rd. 1-0 pitch now on the way from Reedhead. Count now 2-0 for Rocha. 2-0 count, 2 outs here in the top of the 3rd. 2 runs for Adams State so far in this inning on the off the home run from Mishuli. And now Rocha works ahead in the count 3-0 against Reedhead. Reedhead, complete game in game number 1. Already past the 50 pitch mark on that last pitch. 3-0 count, 4 pitch walk for Sarah Rocha. Second time Rocha has reached base on a walk today. And now Shelby Haskins up to the plate. Ground into a 4-6-3 double play in the first inning. 2 outs here in the top of the 3rd inning. Mount Lions with a 13-run advantage at 15-2 in the regular season finale. Pitch now on the way from Reedhead as Haskins checks her swing for ball number 1. Rocha on first once again for Adams State. Haskins at the plate. Phillips on deck. Should inning continue for the Grizzlies. 1-0 pitch is on the way as Rocha goes all the way to second. Successfully steals it. And will stay at second. Ball got a little bit in the outfield, but no harm done. As now Rocha on second base for the Grizzlies. Anderson out to talk to Reedhead in the pitching circle, with Grizzlies with another batter in scoring, with another runner in scoring position, Sarah Rocha. 2-0 count to plate for Shelby Haskins. When we get back to action here, 2 outs, top of the third inning. 15-2 lead for Mountain Lions. So everyone resets here a little bit. Reed had already 3 strikeouts on the day so far. Here comes a 2-0 pitch. And now Haskins ahead in the count 3-0. 2 outs in the top of the third. Runner on second and Rocha. Phillips on deck. Should the inning continue for the Grizzlies. 3-0 pitch. Called strike, and now a 3-1 count for Haskins. 3-1 count, 2 outs, top of the third. Ball's contacted, but will go into the Adams State grandstand. Full count now for Haskins, 3-2, 2 outs, bottom, top of the third, with a runner in scoring position at second and Rocha. Reedhead now to pitch. And a walk. We're putting out runners on first and second. Back-to-back walks now for Reedhead. It's 58 pitches for her so far today. And that to the 88 she had in game number 1. And looks like we're going to have a pitching change. So great day in the pitching circle for Reedhead. Complete game win in game number 1. And is in line to get the win here in game number 2. As we're going to take a little bit of a quick break. When we come back, we get to meet the new Mountain Lion pitcher and get a few warm-up throws in for her. You're watching UCCS Softball. Braylon Crenshaw back into the pitching circle for the second time this weekend. And a great ovation as Taylor Reedhead goes back into the dugout. Great performance for her so far today. Crenshaw facing Brittany Phillips. First pitch is fouled off into the fence behind the plate for an 0-1 count. Reset the field a little bit. Rocha on second. Haskins at first for the Grizzlies. 2 outs, top of the third. Mountain Lions leading 15-2 here in the final game of the series. Crenshaw 8-7 on the season, 4.59 ERA with 44 strikeouts. That pitch is a little bit low and in the turf for ball number 1. 1-1 count now for Brittany Phillips. Like I said, Taylor Reedhead getting a ovation from the crowd as she exited. Very good day for her. Pitched a complete game in game number 1 in the 12-3 Here comes the pitch. That ball's put in the play in the center field. It'll be Nobles there to make it in the inning. And so Grizzlies get 2 runs on the scoreboard thanks to a home run from Angel Mashuli. It'll be a 15-2 lead going into the bottom of the third, where we will see the 7, 8, 9 batters from Mountain Lions when we come back. You're watching UCCS Softball. Pulpit Rock right there, right behind Mountain Lion Field on the northwest side of the UCCS campus. As you see the scoreboard right there, 15-2 lead for the Mountain Lions. And then on the other side, the field for the view from the outfield, you got the beautiful Inn Center for the Arts, second year of operation. For that multi-million-dollar facility, Sarah Brewster on the plate. She had the grand slam in the first inning, and here she is leading things off in the bottom of the third. Checks her swing and for ball number 1. Brewster Lancaster Nobles leading off things for the Mountain Lions. Here in the bottom of the third inning, Mountain Lions with the 15-2 lead. Here at Mountain Lion Field. 1-0 pitch now from Garbizo. Make that now a 2-0 count for Brewster at the plate. Count. Here comes a pitch from Garbizo. And now count is 3-0 in favor of Brewster at the plate. Brewster hit her grand slam on a 1-2 count in the first inning. And I had a full count in the second to lead things off in that inning. 3-0 pitch on the way. And Brewster will lead off the bottom of the third with a walk. And bring up Lee Lancaster. She walked in the second inning. Had a single in the first. Out in force outs in both those times. As Lancaster at the plate. Nobles on deck with Brewster at first. No outs in the bottom of the third. 15-2 lead for the Mountain Lions here in the regular season finale. Grizzlies got catcher Hansen, pitcher Garbizo talking things over. Everyone's going back to their places. Talking about pitchers, did not get to close out Taylor Reedhead's line. 2 2/3 innings pitch with 2 hits, 2 runs, both of them earned. 3 strikeouts and 3 walks, giving up as she went the first 7 2/3 innings for the Mountain Lions here between the two games. Pitch down the way from Garbizo to Lancaster, a little bit high for ball number 1. 1-0 count for her at the plate with Brewster on first. No outs in the bottom of the third. Mountain Lions with some insurance for another run rule decision here. 1-0 pitch from Garbizo. And called strike. Counting was up for Lancaster, 1-1 at the plate. Lancaster reaching base both of her previous appearances in the first and second innings. 1-1 pitch. And Lancaster moves ahead in the count, 2-1. Here against Garbizo, first time that she's faced Garbizo today. Two-one pitch on the way, and Lancaster continue moving ahead, 3-1 on the count against Jade Garbizo. Brewster over at first on the walk. Lancaster trying to draw the walk. She had a single in the first. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. And Lancaster will go off to the first base, and Brewster will go over to second. Back-to-back walks to start the innings for the Mountain Lions in the bottom of the third inning as the Nobles. 2 runs so far today, reached on a fielder's choice in the first inning and had a single in the second. Was the first as Nobles puts that ball in the play, gets it over to Cook at second base. Cook is able to make that play. Wood at shortstop, getting over to play over to Fryer to get the force out as Lancaster out in the process on the 6-4 play. First out of the inning as pinch runner for the Mountain Lions. I missed that. Sierra Batchelor in place of Brewster. She moves over to third in the process. Mountain Lions with runners on the corners with Batchelor at third, Nobles at first. And now top of the order with Martinek. Runner goes for the Mountain Lions as Nobles safely makes it in the second on stolen base. And so Mountain Lions with runners on second and third. And Martinek at the plate. 1 out in the bottom of the third. Pitch now on the way from Garbizo, a little high. (15-2) lead for the Mountain Lions. 1 out in the bottom of the third inning, but 2 runners in scoring positions with Batchelor and Nobles. 2-0 count from Martinic. Here comes the pitch from Garbizo. Strike number 1 called by the home plate umpire. 2-1 count, 1 out in the bottom of the third. Mount Lions with runners on second and third. Martinic at the batter's box for the 4th time in this game. 2-1 pitch now on the way. And called strike as the count evens up for Martinic, 2-2. Martinic 2 runs so far. Had a walk in the first, a double in the first, and a single in the second. 2-2 pitch now on the way from Garbizo. That ball's put in the play. It'll be Wood making the play at first for the 6-3 play. And so Mount Lions able to get 1 run across with Batchelor, though. And that moves Nobles to third on the 6-3 play for an out number 2 in the bottom of the third. As Alex Cook up to the plate, 3 runs for her so far today. A single, a walk, and a single between the first 2 innings. Nobles at third for the Mount Lions. 2 outs. Here comes the pitch from Garbizo. That ball's put in the play. It's a high ball, but it looks like it's going to be just right in front of the Mount Lion dugout. Haskins pulling up, just not to do any damage to herself. Strike number 1 for Cook. 16-2 lead for the Mount Lions with that run from Batchelor. Pinch running for Brewster. 2 pitches on the way. Count is now 1-1 for Alex Cook. 2 outs in the bottom of the third inning. 16-2 lead. 1-1 count. 2 outs in the bottom of the third inning. Nobles at third for UCCS. Pitch now on the way from Garbizo. That ball's put in the play. Lane can't quite make it, but it'll be Wood in the back to back her up. Can't quite make the play over to first in time. 1 more run will score with Nobles coming home. It's now a 17-2 lead for UCCS. Cook on first. Peyton Reisman now up to the plate. 3 runs for her. Has reached base on a pair of walks and a double. She steps back up to the plate. Reedhead on deck. She hit a 3-run home run in the second. She's on deck. Should the inning continue. Pitch down the way from Garbizo. Called strike number 1. As Hansen goes down to Haskins for the attempt to pick off, but Cook safely back at first. Mount Lions now as 13 hits. That is a foul ball, but just barely for Cook on the third base side. 0-2 count for her at the plate. Cook on base with a single. 17-2 lead for Mount Lions here in the bottom of the third. Mount Lions 17 runs off of 14 hits so far today. Reisman at the plate with an 0-2 count. 2 outs, bottom of the third inning with Cook over at first. Here comes the pitch from Garbizo. And ball number 1 to Reisman. It's a 1-2 count for her at the plate. Cook 3 runs for her so far today. She's on first for the Mount Lions. Reisman has reached base every time she's been at the plate with 2 walks and a double. 1-2 pitch now from Garbizo. Bounces in the turf for ball number 2. Count evens up for Reisman at 2-2. Pitch now on the way from Garbizo. That ball's put in the play. Garbizo able to field it cleanly for the 1-3 play and end the inning. Mount Lions add 2 more runs in the bottom of the third. Take a 17-2 lead against Adams State. As we go to the top of the fourth, it'll be the 5, 6, 7 batters in Fryer, Wood, and Hansen for the Grizzlies when we come back. You're watching UCCS Softball. Top of the fourth inning, UCCS leading 17-12 against Adams State here in the regular season finale. UCCS won the first 3 games of this series, trying to go into the conference tournament with the series sweep of the Grizzlies. Grizzlies leading off the top of the fourth with Bailey Fryer. She fouled out to the catcher in the second inning, as she's back up to the plate now for Adams State. Crenshaw in the pitching circle for UCCS. First pitch is a little bit higher for ball number 1 to Fryer. Fryer, Wood, and Hansen leading things off for the Grizzlies here in the top of the fourth. Pitch now on the way from Crenshaw. That ball's put in play in the left field. It'll be Cook there who has to make it, but it's going to go over the wall. So a solo home run for Bailey Fryer to lead things off here in the top of the fourth inning for Adams State University. Fryer rounding third base right there as she comes home for the Grizzlies. Fryer, her second home run of the season. Now it's a 17-3 lead for the Grizzlies. Second home run of the game for the Grizzlies. Mishuli had a 2-run shot in the third inning. Now it's a 17-3 lead for the Mountain Lions. No outs, top of the fourth as Rebecca Wood comes up to the plate. She had a fly ball caught by Cook in left field. Strong wind going out to left field. Here comes a pitch from Crenshaw. Strike number 1 called by home plate umpire Williams. Grizzlies shut out in the first 2 innings. Were able to get 2 across in the third. Now 1 here in the fourth. That pitch is called for ball number 2. 1-1 count to Rebecca Wood at the plate. Hansen on deck for the Grizzlies. Mobley after that, if the inning continues. That ball put in the play in the left field. It's going to drop in front of Nobles for a base hit. And so back-to-back hits for the Grizzlies to lead things off here in the fourth inning. Has now Sarah Hansen up to the plate. Ground out to shortstop to lead off the third inning for the Grizzlies. Grizzlies now with 4 hits on the day, 3 runs to show for it. Neither team's committed an error yet so far in the game number 2. Pitch now from Crenshaw. Called strike number 1 against Hansen. 0-1 count for her at the plate. Mobley on deck for the Grizzlies. McDonald after that. Should the inning continue, no outs here in the top of the fourth. Here comes a pitch from Crenshaw as Mountain Lions are going to go try to get the pickoff attempt, and Wood able to slide back in without a problem. Looks like it'd be a 1-1 count for Hansen at the plate. Working with Wood at first, no outs in the top of the fourth inning. 1-1 pitch now from Crenshaw, a little bit higher for ball number 2. 2-1 count at the plate for Hansen. 2-1 pitch now on the way from Crenshaw, fouled off into the fence behind the backstop. 2-2 count for Hansen. Windy but otherwise beautiful day here in Colorado Springs. See Hansen stepping back into the box for the Grizzlies. Here comes the pitch from Crenshaw, and count is now full for Sarah Hansen. 3-2, no outs with a runner on first. And the top of the fourth inning for Adams State University. Crenshaw now at the 3-2 pitch. That ball's hit but fouled off into the first base grandstands. Count is still at 3-2. Now it's top of the fourth. Runner on first and Rebecca Wood. Crenshaw, 3-2 pitch delivers and is fouled off once again. Count is though at 3-2, no outs. Top of the fourth inning, Mountain Lions leading 17-3. A few other scores, softball action. Mesa 13-2 lead in the bottom of the third against New Mexico Highlands. Top of the fourth is still tied at 0 between Black Hill State and Chadron State as Hansen draws the walk, and now 2 runners on for Adams State as Wood advances to second. And now Rachel Mobley had a single in the third inning and then scored off the home run from Angel Mishuli. First 3 batters for Adams State reaching base here to lead off the fourth inning. Home run by Bailey Fryer, single by Rebecca Wood, and now a walk by Sarah Hansen. First pitch for Rachel Mobley is ball number 1. Samantha McDonald, the slap hitter, on deck for the Grizzlies. Other scores from across the conference. Mines with a 3-1 lead against CSU Pueblo. That ball is hit high. Martinick is going to call for it in shallow left field, and she's able to make the play. And so first out of the inning for the Grizzlies, with Wood on second and Hanson on first. And now Samantha McDonald playing the designated player spot. Steps up to the plate, had a strikeout in the third inning. The slap hitter for the Grizzlies catching up on games. Like I said, top of the third inning, Mines leading CSU Pueblo 3-1 in softball action. Bottom of the second, Dixie State leading Fort Lewis 1-0 in that game. One out in the top of the fourth. So pinch hitter as Kinsey Lang is coming in. She was playing defense at third base only, but now is coming into the batting order in place of Samantha McDonald. Lang, a senior for the Grizzlies. First pitch that she'll see is ball number 1 from Braylon Crenshaw. Kinsey Lang, 226 batter for the Grizzlies this season. Well, working with a 1-0 count with 2 runners on, 1 out. Swing and a miss for Lang. 1-1 count for her at the plate. Top of the order, and Angel Mashuli on deck for the Adams State Grizzlies. 1-1 pitch, a little bit high. 2-1 count as Lang moves ahead in the count here against Braylon Crenshaw. 2-1 pitch now on the way. Swing and a miss. 2-2 count now for Lang at the plate. 1 out in the top of the fourth inning. Grizzlies already with 1 run on the home run from Bailey Fryer, trying to add a few more with the runner in scoring position in Wood. And fouled off. Count remains at 2-2 for Lang. Two pitch now on the way. Swung at and missed, and so a strikeout, second out of the inning for the Grizzlies. Brings up now top of the order with Angel Mashuli. Had a 2-run home run in her last appearance in the third inning. 1 for 2 game for her so far. Mashuli 1 for 2 in game number 1 as well, so 2 for 4 combined on the day. 2 outs. Here comes the pitch now from Crenshaw. And called strike by home plate umpire. 0-1 count now for Mashuli. Rocha on deck to continue. Wood on second. Hanson at first. Mashuli at the plate with 2 outs in the top of the fourth inning. 1 run so far for the Grizzlies so far. It's a 17-3 lead for the Mount Lions though. And now Mashuli behind the count 0-2. Here in the top of the fourth with 2 outs. Pitch now on the way from Crenshaw. Fouled off into the area behind the backstop. Into the dugout. Nearly got our cameraman covering the third base side. Quick reflexes. Requirement for the position. 0-2 count at the plate for Mashuli. 2 outs in the bottom of the top of the fourth. Pitch now on the way from Crenshaw. That ball's put in the play. It'll be on the left side. The wind might carry it over, but it's going to be Cook with a grab of the wall to end the inning. Great work by Cook to make that play. Just a few feet, or a couple of feet more, it would have been over the wall. But Cook able to end the inning. 1 run scored for Adams State on the home run for Bailey Fryer, but it's a 17-3 lead for the Mount Lions going into the bottom of the fourth inning. The middle of the order, doing Reedhead, Glover, and Anderson do up when we come back. You're watching UCCS Softball. Mountain Lions coming into the bottom of the fourth inning with a 17-3 lead here in the regular season finale. And it's the middle of the order due up for the Mountain Lions, as it is Reedhead, Glover, and Anderson. Reed had a 3-run home run in her last appearance in the second inning, going up against Jade Garbizo. The first pitch is in the turf for ball number 1. Just underway at Mount Lion Park, top of the first inning, game number 2. Colorado Mines and UCCS tied at 0 in baseball action, just a few hundred yards to our north here on campus. As a change looks like in right field, Angel Mashuli coming out. This is likely the last game of the season for Adams State University, as coming into her place is number 26, Kira Archibald. But coming out, Angel Mashuli, a senior out of Westminster, Colorado. Archibald coming into outfield, a freshman out of California. Well, kind of odd to see that with a 1-0 count at the plate for Taylor Reedhead. Mountain Lions with the comfortable 17-3 lead, though, in a run rule position at the moment. That pitch, as Reedhead moves ahead in the count 2-0. Bottom of the fourth inning. Reedhead leadoff batter here in the bottom of the fourth for the Mountain Lion half of the inning. Pitch now on the way from Garbizo. And strike number 1 to Reedhead. 2-1 count for her at the plate. Reedhead has reached base every time she's been at the plate. Had a fielder's choice in the first, a double in the first, and a 3-run home run in the second. 2-1 pitch now on the way. That ball's put in the play. Bounces right in front of Fryer. That'll be, looks like a hit for Reedhead as she reaches base for the 4th time today here to lead off the 4th inning. Rail Glover 3 for 3 so far today, with a pair of singles in the first and a double in the second. Reedhead picking up her 3rd hit. She's over at first with no outs in the bottom of the 4th. We got a pinch runner coming in for the Mountain Lions. I believe that's Bryn Horton trying to look across the field. That's Bryn Horton coming in for Taylor Reedhead over at first as a pinch runner. No outs in the bottom of the 4th. Runner on. Here comes the pitch from Garbizo. That ball's heading to play. That going to go to center field. It's going to get past the center fielder, Rocha. And so Mountain Lions are going to send Bryn Horton all the way home. And Mountain Lions have one more run here to this game on the double from Rail Glover. Horton coming all the way home. It's now an 18-3 lead for the Mountain Lions here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Lexi Anderson, the senior for the Mountain Lions, coming up to the plate. Glover is senior as well. Reedhead is senior. 3 straight seniors here in the middle of the order. Lexi Anderson had a walk in the first and then later scored, then has ground out to the shortstop in the first and the second innings. No outs here in the bottom of the 4th. Here comes a pitch from Garbizo. That's chopped off in front of the Adams State dugout for strike number 1. Mountain Lions back-to-back hits here to open off the bottom of the 4th inning and to expand this lead up to 18-3. Both teams paying tribute to their seniors. 0-1 pitch now on the way for ball number 1. 1-1 count for Anderson at the plate. Garbizo now with a 1-1 pitch. A little bit low for ball number 2 as Glover will go over to second in the process. So now Glover going all the way over to third. No outs in the bottom of the 4th. Mountain Lions lead by 15 and 18-3. Scored in each of the innings so far today. 2-1 pitch now on the way from Garbizo. Now it's a 3-1 count for Anderson at the plate. Anderson, 2 home runs in game number 1 today. 3-1 pitch now from Garbizo. Ball's put in the play. It's going to be fair. It's going to go right down the left field line. One more run will score with Glover coming home. And that's an RBI single from Lexi Anderson. A well-hit ball just right down the left field line. And Glover will score, making it a 19-3 lead for the Mountain Lions. Anderson over at first has now Sawyer Brewster up to the plate. She had a grand slam in the first inning. And then drew a leadoff walk in the third and later scored for the Mountain Lions. And now another pinch runner for UCCS over at first. Hard to make out the number from our broadcast position at the moment. Might be Saline Quinones. And also another defensive switch for Adams State. Coming in for Mobley is Jasmine Parker. Mobley getting the start for the Grizzlies as the senior from Davis, California. So we're trying to keep everyone updated on who's who and where's where and everything like that. Pretty sure we got Quinones over at first as the pinch runner. Here comes now the pitch to Brewster. And ball number 1 to Brewster. Pitch is now on the way. They try to go back, get the pick off at first, and unsuccessful. And now a 2-0 count for Brewster at the plate. Two-0 pitch now on the way. That ball's put on the plate. It's going to go in the outfield. It's going to be handled by Rocha as they're going to send Quinones all the way over to third for the Mountain Lions. She's going to stay at third. And so now runners on the corners for the Mountain Lions on that single from Brewster into center field. Quinones going all the way over to third in the process. No outs still in the bottom of the fourth. Mountain Lions with 2 runs this inning and now lead 19-3. And that is Lee Lancaster up to the plate. Senior from the Mountain Lions has already reached base every time she's been at the plate this game. A single and 2 walks. Runners on the corners with no outs. Here comes the pitch from Garbizo. And ball number 1 to Lee Lancaster. Mountain Lions 4 straight hits to start off this inning. 3 singles and a double. And already 2 runs to show for it. 1-0 pitch on the way. That ball is going to be on the right side, but it's going to be foul in the gravel for a 1-1 count now to Lancaster. Mountain Lions 6 seniors on this squad. All of them part of the lineup for the Mountain Lions. 1-1 pitch is on the way, a little high, and count is not 2-1 for Lancaster. Lancaster among that senior group for the Mountain Lions. Right fielder for UCCS for most of her career. 2-1 pitch now from Garbizo, and that's now a 3-1 count for Lancaster. With runners on the corners, no outs in the bottom of the 4th inning. 19-3 lead for the Mountain Lions. Garbizo with the 3-1 pitch. That ball's chopped over. It's over to third base. It's dropped a little bit. See if they can get over to first in time. They can for the 5-3 play. Quinones will stay at third as Brewster advances to second. 5-3 play is the first out here in the bottom of the 4th. And now a substitution at third for Adams State as Hannah Werches comes in. She's coming in place of Lang. Lang, a senior as well for this Grizzlies squad. Werches back into the lineup. We saw her in game number 1. Man the Nobles up to the plate, has scored every time she's come up to the plate, had a reach on the fielder's choice in the first and the third innings, and had a single in the second. But 3 runs for her so far today. Senior as well, she'll get the pitch, and ball number 1 to her. 1-0 count for her. Martinek, a senior, on deck for the Mountain Lions. 1 out in the bottom of the 4th inning. Mountain Lions with the 19-3 lead, 2 runs already in this inning. 1-0 pitch is on the way, swung at for strike number 1. 1-1 count now for Nobles. Runners on second and third for Mountain Lions with Nobles at the plate. 1 out in the bottom of the 4th inning. Pitch on the way from Garbizo for ball number 2. Hansen goes back over to Wertschie's. Quinones never left the bag. Pitch down away from Garbizo, and that drops into left field. Parker misplays it a little bit, so that will bring 2 runs home for the Mountain Lions. And that will put Nobles on to second, so bring 2 more runs home with Quinones, who is pinch running for Lexi Anderson, as well as Brewster. She comes home. It's now a 21-3 lead for the Mountain Lions. And now back to the top of the order with Missy Martinek. Martinek is a walk and a double in the first inning, a single in the second, and ground out to short in the 3rd inning. As Nobles over at second base for UCCS with 1 out in the bottom of the 4th inning. Pitch down the way. And strike number 1 called by the home plate umpire against Missy Martinek. Alex Cook on deck for the Mountain Lions. 21 runs, most for the Mountain Lions so far this season. 0-1 pitch is a little high. Count evens out for Martinek at 1-1. Mountain Lions' previous high this season, they scored 15 twice between Black Hills State and CSU Pueblo. Both those games played here at Mountain Lion Field. 1's across scoreboard. 1-1 pitch now on the way from Garbizo, and Martinek goes ahead of the count, 2-1. Count, 1 out, bottom of the 4th inning. Mountain Lions with 4 runs in this inning for a 21-3 lead. Two-one pitch now on the way. And now Martinek continues to move ahead on the count. 3-1 here, bottom of the 4th inning. 1 out with a runner on second. And Nobles reached on that fielding error from left field. Pitch on the way from Garbizo, and Martinek now has a full count, 3-2, as she'll let that one get called by home plate umpire for strike number 2. 1 out, bottom of the 4th inning, 3-2 count. Runner on second for the Mountain Lions. Here comes pitch from Garbizo. Check swing, but a strikeout looking instead. And so 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th inning as Alex Cook now up to the plate. Cook has reached base 4 times today. 3 for 3, all of them singles. Also had a walk in her second time through in the first inning. Infielders are coming in for Adams State, but they're coming in kind of on the third base side. It looks like another senior switch. It'll be a catcher. See if we can get a good eye on that number. Looks like it ends in a 0. So it looks like Munn coming in place of Hansen. First pitch for Cook, ball number 1. Hansen, senior starting, could be played by Zoe Munn, a freshman out of Oregon. And 1-0 pitch now on the way. Cook puts out in the play. It's going to be stopped by Garbizo. She's able to get a glove on that without a problem for a 1-3 play. And some Mountain Lions add 4 more runs in the bottom of the 4th to take a 21-3 lead. Mountain Lions looking at a run rule situation going in the top of the 5th inning, as it would be the 2-3-4 batters and Rusha, Haskins, and Phillips. At least that's what it was. We'll see who comes out We come back, you're watching UCCS softball. Top of the fifth inning in the regular season finale for both teams. 21-3 lead for UCCS. 3 outs away from closing out the regular season with a sweep. Braylon Crenshaw up on deck, and it's Rocha swing and a miss. Leading things off here in the top of the fifth inning for Adams State. 0-1 count now for Rocha at the plate. Rocha, Haskins, and Phillips. Pretty sure that would be who we see, but we're going to keep in a quick eye as we've seen a lot of substitutions here in honor of the seniors. 0-2 count now for Rocha. She falls behind in the count. Here's the leadoff batter in the fifth inning. 0-2 pitch down the way from Crenshaw, and now ball number 1 for Rocha. 1-2 count for her at the plate. Leadoff batter in the top of the fifth. Mount Lions winning 21 to, or at least leading 21-3. Right now, a season high runs scored. That momentum going into the conference tournament. Mount Lions are pretty solid 6 seed. That's what we'd probably be looking at for the Mount Lions. There was a big gap in between the 6 spot with the Mount Lions, and then the next 2 teams that were trying to get in. A mix between Adams coming into this weekend, Regis and CSU Pueblo also in that mix. Pueblo currently playing up at Mines. Regis currently playing at MSU Denver. 2-2 pitch on the way. That's going to be going through the left side for a base hit. And so Rocha reaches base for the 3rd time today. First time that wasn't on a walk though, as Haskins, she drew a walk in the 3rd inning and grounded to a double play in the 1st inning. Right now, no outs, top of the 5th inning. Runner on first for Adams as runner goes. A strike at the plate, and Rocha safely in at second on stolen base. 0-1 count for Haskins. No outs in the top of the 5th inning. 0-1 pitch on the way, a little low for ball number 1. Rocha back over to second base. 1-1 count for Haskins at the plate. 1-1 pitch down the way from Crenshaw. That ball is put in the play. It's going to be fielded. Cook is able to make that play in the air, and this Rocha is going to have to get back to second, and she slides back in. So 1 out here. Good diving play by Alex Cook in left field for out number 1. Rocha stays over at second for the Grizzlies. It looks like we're going to have a pinch hitter coming in for the Grizzlies, number 6 for Adams, Julia Jimenez. So Jimenez coming into the lineup for the Grizzlies.
Now batting number 6.
Jimenez, 236 batter on the season for the Grizzlies. Junior out of Reedley, California, coming in place of Brittany Phillips, a sophomore. Here comes the first pitch. Called strike for Jimenez for an 0-1 pitch, 0-1 count in the top of the 5th. Rocha is still on second for the Grizzlies. 1 out in the top of the 5th inning. Here comes the pitch. That ball's put in the play. It's going to drop for at least a hit. They're going to send Rocha all the way home, and they should be able to slide in safely without a problem. So one more run for the Grizzlies here on that single by Jimenez. And Rocha with their first run of the day after leading off with a single. 12 to 21 to 4 ball game right now. Bailey Fryer had a home run to lead off things in the 4th inning. She steps back into the plate with 1 out and makes contact there. It's going to go foul in front of the Mountain Lion dugout for strike number 1. Rebecca Wood on deck for the Grizzlies, who have Jimenez over at first on that RBI single. 0-1 pitch now from Crenshaw. And ball number 1 for Fryer. 1-1 count, 1 out. Top of the 5th inning, 21 to 4 lead for the Mountain Lions. Pitch on the way from Crenshaw. Swung at and missed. Bounces around a little bit between everybody. Strike number 2 though at the plate for Fryer. 1-2 count here for Fryer at the plate with Jimenez at first. Pitches on the way. It's a little bit high. Counting up at 2-2. Two pitch and strikeout for the second out here in the top of the 5th. So 1 out left for the Grizzlies as Rebecca Wood comes up to the plate. Single in her last appearance in the 4th. Fly ball out to left field to end the 2nd inning. Jimenez over at first. Here comes a pitch, a little bit high for ball number 1. 1-0 count, 2 outs. Here comes the pitch from Crenshaw, a little bit low for ball number 2. Sarah Hansen on deck. Shadana continue for the Grizzlies. Rebecca Wood at the plate though right now. Shortstop for Grizzlies. 2-0 pitch. Swung at. That's going to be fielded over at third for the 5-3 play as Brewster over to Reisman ends the game. Mountain Lions with the 21-4 victory in 5 games. Second run rule game of the day, 3rd of the series, as Mountain Lions have 6 seniors who just wrapped up their first game in their final game here at home, but it will not be the last game. UCCS will be at the Warmack tournament May 2nd through 4th. As Mountain Lions will be taking on the best in the RMAC May 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, most likely in Grand Junction, as we see right there for the Mountain Lions. A few replays as we close out this game here. UCCS improving 27-24 overall. Mountain Lions with 9-1, 15-14, 12-3, and 21-4 victories against Adams State. Here to take the series sweep here at Mountain Lion Field. Like I said, UCCS improving to 27-24, 23-16 in the RMAC, most likely the number 6 seed going into the conference tournament for that postseason tournament. Adams State falling to 27-37, 12-25 in the RMAC. Their season comes to a close as well. We see a lot of players coming in and out as both teams try and recognize their seniors. UCCS will be starting that process here momentarily. 6 seniors on the roster for the Mountain Lions as they will close out their regular season home schedule here for them in their careers, as we wish them the best of luck next week at the conference tournament in Grand Junction. Be on the lookout for that bracket. Most likely be posted at GoMountainLions.com later on today. But as for our entire crew here, it was a great season, a great year of sports. I was only able to join them for the spring sports, but between volleyball and soccer and basketball in the fall and the spring, and lacrosse here and baseball in the spring, great work by the entire crew as they work to get the best of the Mountain Lions out there as well. I'm Jared Vernon. Thank you so much for joining us. Mountain Lions back in action next week at the RMAC tournament. Look for the bracket at GoMountainLions.com. Have a great day.